Alright everyone, here we are for round 1 of our league with Rhystic Tron. We are playing against Top Deck Bolt for the win. Hopefully, if he is playing Burn, we can get a quick start against him and he's got a nice and slow start because this deck can definitely beat Burn. Oh man. Apparently the guy likes our videos, so that's cool. I don't know if I want to tell him I'm filming one right now, so he knows which deck we're on, but I'll let him know once we do mulligans. I'll let him know. So hopefully, I don't even know which deck this is supposed to be good against. Honestly, we have a pretty decent hand here though, so I'm gonna keep it. Alright, our opponent kept 7. It's on Secluded Step. Ooh. So I do know this. Kuldotha Boros is probably a pretty good matchup. So I'm going to start with the mine. So he probably knows right now that we're on that I'm on Rhystic Tron, but this is usually a pretty good matchup for a Tron deck, so I imagine it's good for this deck too. Kuldotha Boros is usually just dead to Tron. Prophetic Prism, I could use one of those. So if we don't draw another, okay, as I say, if we don't draw basically Prophetic Prism or the Power Plant, I was going to go with the Island so I could play Impulse, but let's go with the Prophetic Prism. Hopefully we draw our other Tron piece. That's the wrong one. So this matchup, just like a lot of them, just all about getting to Tron. Next turn we'll probably play a Seagate Oracle. Our opponent's on a really slow start, which is great for us, because boy are we a slow deck. Alright, a Muldrifter. So I'm just going to run out this mine, and we'll play a Seagate Oracle. So one thing I will say about this deck is it's very, very slow. Okay. I think I'm going to take another Prophetic Prism so we can get even closer to our Tron piece. So this deck is really click heavy, and if you are not a fast clicker or if you have a slow internet connection, it is going to be very tough for you to play this game, this deck. You have to click a lot. So I think I'm going to start with an Impulse. I really want to find that missing Tron piece. Alright, we found it, so I'll grab the Power Plant. 4 lands is interesting. Grab the Power Plant, put that stuff on the bottom, play the Power Plant, and I don't really want to discard quite yet. So instead of playing the Muldrifter, I'm going to play both of our Prophetic Prisms, I think. If I draw a Seagate Oracle here, I'll play that instead. Nope. Just Stonehorn Dignitary. We do have to be careful against Kuldotha Boros. They can burn you out from a pretty high life total sometimes. So, gotta be careful of that. But other than that, we're in pretty good shape here. If I ever find a Rhystic Circle, this game will be pretty much over. They'll never be able to keep up with us on mana. Alright, see what they've got here. Another draw card, they're probably going to sack it, get some tokens. Pop! Yep. So you can always kind of tell when people are casting stuff like that because the box on the left tells them they're trying to figure out what to spend their mana on, like attempting to pay for the spell or something it says. Alright, they've got 2 of them. And a Glint Hawk, picking up an Ancient Den. So they've got a lot of power this turn, which is not a big deal. I think I'm just going to play... So how much mana do I have? I've got this Power Plant, gives me 11 mana. So that means I can evoke my Muldrifter, or I can play the Stonehorn Dignitary, evoke the Muldrifter, get back Ghostly Flicker. The other option is to evoke Muldrifter. Well, I could play the Mnemonic Wall. I definitely need to either have Moment's Peace up this turn or play Stonehorn Dignitary this turn. So I'm just going to go ahead and play the Stonehorn Dignitary. This is an interesting position because I'm playing a spell here before I'm drawing my cards, and normally you want to try to draw your cards before you make any decisions for the turn. But in this case, I really want to get the Stonehorn Dignitary down no matter what, and I want to do the flicker trick. So let's do that. All right. Let's cast this Muldrifter. So this will mean our opponent has to skip two attack steps. Usually want to stack your evoke trigger first so you can draw your cards first and see what you get. All right. So that's perfect. We'll even be able to get our expedition map down this turn. Alright, and there's a couple of tricks with this deck. Like if you put the Muldrifter trigger on, you don't have to target with the Stonehorn Dignitary, but if you click the Stonehorn Dignitary, it makes you target first. Alright, we found our Rhystic Circle. And I'll play the map. And there we go. So this game is pretty much over, I would say. Unless our opponent can draw, I don't know, they have to draw a pretty ridiculous amount of great stuff. Let's see what they take. They took our Muldrifter, which I actually think the Stonehorn Dignitary is more important. So I'm going to pop this and grab a tower. If we are really lucky, we'll play against this deck a bunch of times and we'll actually be able to win some games. Alright, we've got this. So they are missing one more attack step, so I still have one free turn not to worry about things. I'm just going to play out another Muldrifter, I think. Well, I'm going to play this Mnemonic Wall, I guess. So I've got a Pulsamoros in my hand, I'll have this Flicker, and I have another Mnemonic Wall, so not too much to be scared of here. Yes, I'll take it back. And then we will play Rhystic Circle. One unfortunate thing about our mana here is that I can't actually hold up the Ghostly Flicker even though I'm holding up 3 mana, but that's okay. One thing to remember about Rhystic Circle is it's just like Circle of Protection. It can only deal damage, you can only prevent damage to you. So you can't actually stop them from killing your creatures. But we don't care if they kill our creatures. We've got Pulsamoros to bring them back and stuff. One interesting thing is Stonehorn Dignitary skips their attack step entirely, so when you watch down here on the bar, just zooms right past it to the second main. Ideally, we can run our opponent out of Journey to Nowheres before we get to our Ulamog's Crusher. We do have Repeal to get the Journey to Nowhere off the table in order to kill him with the Crushers, but as you can see there, it just zoomed right past. Our opponent might have forgotten or didn't know that they stack, or just wanted to see what happened. Picking up some land. Alright. So that's that. What am I going to do this turn? So, we have a lot of options. I think I'm just going to cast a Muldrifter here. At some point we're probably going to have to discard. We just have so much card advantage that probably just going to have to discard, but that's okay with this deck. Once you get so far ahead, it's okay if you have to discard. Alright, so I think my opponent's upkeep, I'm going to try to flicker these two, and I also want to make sure I keep up this Moment's Peace, and I want to keep up Condescend, so I'm going to play the Island. I think I'm going to discard I'm actually going to discard this repeal, I think. Nah, it's too good a value with the journey. I'm going to discard the impulse. Alright, so in the upkeep I'm going to flicker these two. And actually our opponent doesn't have Metalcraft right now, so they can't Galvanic Blast either one. Pretty much just going to keep doing this sort of thing for the whole game at this point. We've kind of locked them out. Unless I make a mistake, I don't think they're going to really be able to do anything about this. Alright, see if I can always yield to that. And I want to always yield, always yes and always yield. I don't think the always yes will actually work for the rest of the game, because it only remembers the always yes for this specific object, but it'll remember more of them like the next time. So I don't know, it's kind of a strange thing. See what our opponent wants to do here. So I'm going to repeal the Journey to Nowhere, get back some Mulldrifters, I think. Why not, right? Get some cards. Seems cool. Opponent, Galvanic Blast. My guess would be they have two, but that's alright. We have the Pulse of Marasa, so Ghostly Flicker, these two. Yep. So which one to kill? Okay, so he's killing the Stonehorn. But that's perfectly fine. We'll get back the Ghostly Flicker. One thing you want to definitely do with this deck is you're going to need to have shortcuts on your keyboard for yes and no, because you're going to do both of those things a lot. You're going to be clicking yes and no all the time. Alright, nothing to do with our last mana. So let's play out this power plant, and I guess I'm going to Pulse of Marasa back. The Stonehorn Dignitary. And then we're going to cast it again. So unfortunately, our opponent has a ton of damage sources if we don't keep Stonehorn Dignitarying. So, ooh, actually I think I'm going to... I can't really attack. I think I'm going to flicker once though right now, just to get one more out of the way. Alright, get back to flicker. Okay. I'm going to discard this Tranquil Cove. We don't actually need really any more white mana at this point. Journey to Nowhere, let's see what they want to target. Probably our Stonehorn Dignitary. Of course we're going to Ghostly Flicker again. Once we get this second Mnemonic Wall down, we can start getting back a lot of cards every turn with this Ghostly Flicker. So each thing he's killing. Okay, he's killing the Mnemonic Wall. So that's 3 of the 4 Galvanic Blasts gone. We're tapped out. We can F6 here. I don't think he's going to try to sneak a burn spell in at me. Alright, he's got another one, so... It's getting a little dicey, but actually it's just not dicey at all. So I'm going to play this. We are going to get back Pulse of Marasa with this Mnemonic Wall. Okay. Yes. And then I'm going to Pulse of Marasa back the other wall. I'm probably not playing as safely as I could, but I am kind of lagging actually a little bit, unfortunately, so I don't want to rely too heavily on this Rhystic Circle. And while our opponent is tapped low again, I am going to use this Ghostly Flicker right now. Yeah, I'll hit both of these mnemonic walls. So I'm going to get back the Pulse of Marasa and the Ghostly Flicker. This way, if any of our stuff gets killed, we'll be able to pulse it back. Okay, that's all for that turn. So remember, we still have one more stacked up missed combat with the Stonehorn Dignitary. Our opponent's down to one card. Unfortunately, I don't have another Stonehorn Dignitary right now, but I think we will once I flicker some of these Muldrifters. Alright, let's get some cards. This might be a bolt. Nope, no bolt. Alright. So I got the repeal here for the Stonehorn Dignitary. Really need to find that Ulamog's Crusher so I can end this game. Alright, there's the Crusher. I'm going to wait one more turn though. So I'll just pass here. I'm going to discard the Moment's Peace and a land. So this turn I'm going to prohibit that journey. Actually, I should quick count. Our opponent has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. So let's just condescend for 6. Nope, tapped one too many. Yeah, you guys can probably see that I'm lagging a little bit. So yeah, we'll condescend that. See what I want to do with my scry here. That to the bottom. I will put this Ghostly Flicker back on top, just in case. Alright, sure, let's Ghostly Flicker one more time, just to be really safe. Alright, here we go, getting back Ghostly Flicker. They skip their combat. Yes, we'll take that. Alrighty. Let's get the Crusher out. And we'll play this Tranquil Cove and we'll pass the turn. So it's still going to take us a little while to grind through all this stuff too, even with the Crusher. Our opponent's doing the right thing. If you're playing against a really slow deck, you just want to make them play this stuff out. There's absolutely no series of draws our opponent could draw that would win them this game, but unfortunately it's going to take us a little while to get through them. I probably should have countered that just because it's going to take me a little while to get through all that stuff, but it is what it is. Alright, let's get some cards. Alright, that's probably actually what we were looking for, was that Rolling Thunder. I believe we have lethal here already. Okay, especially with that tower. So, one trick you can do is Ghostly Flicker 2 towers. See how much mana we have. Okay, not quite enough. But each time we flicker 2 towers, we gain 3 mana. So, we do have enough if we do that. So we'll just quick finish off this game right here. The Rolling Thunder. Our opponent's not going to have anything that can gain them life, so we can do it for the exact 25. Okay. If I had added the red mana first, I wouldn't have to do this whole clicking thing that I'm going through right now. But unfortunately I didn't do that, so just gotta click, click, click a lot. That's not taking too long. Alright, 25. Boom! Thundered him to death. I probably should have just been doing that the whole time instead of looking for this Ulamog's Crusher. So I'm going to quick restart my MTGO, and hopefully I won't be lagging so much. So while we're doing this, we talk about those of you who are basketball fans. You might know that I'm from Wisconsin and saw a pretty big win today over Villanova. For those of you who care about the NCAA tournament, pretty sweet. See my hometown team crushing it, my alma mater. I did go here I still go to TW, so it's my alma mater for undergrad, and I'm there for grad school right now. So it's pretty cool to see them win some basketball games, especially since we were kind of supposed to have such a drop-off this year. Alrighty. So when we get back to our sideboarding, kind of have to decide what we want to bring in. I think I want to bring in the negate just for those journey to nowheres. They're pretty annoying. They can take us a little while to get through. I also have to decide if it's worth it to bring in some more crushers or not. Definitely keeping in the fogs and the Rhystic circles, so it's actually kind of hard to decide what to bring in against this deck. Come on, okay, so don't want serrated arrows for sure. There's something to be said for Ancient Grudge, but killing their land's just not really quite where I want to be. I could bring an Array of Revelation. Actually, it might be pretty decent against those Journey to Nowhere, so I think I'll bring one of those in. And I want to bring in a Negate. Hydroblast is probably a little better than Dispel. Hydroblast hits Kuldotha Rebirth, and Dispel hits Rally the Ancestors, or Rally the Peasants, I mean. And Rally the Peasants isn't quite as scary as that other stuff, I think, so I think I might bring in one of those. Stuff I want to bring out, there's not that much to bring out, to be honest, so I'm actually not sure how much sideboarding I should be doing. To be honest, our main deck is pretty good against them. I think I might take out a Prohibit for Negate, and I think that's going to be it. We can see next game if they have some like awesome sideboard tech, or if they have a lot of land destruction, I might want to bring in this Pulsamarasa, but I just don't think we need any of this stuff. Sorry we got cut a little short on sideboarding there, and it looks like I'm still pretty laggy, so I'm not really sure what the issue is, but it's a little unfortunate. I'll just have to try to play really fast. Looks like our opponent's mulliganing. I'm keeping this. We have Tron and a blue mana, so it's kind of the best draw this deck can have. Ideally, we'll draw a Mulldrifter and a Prophetic Prism for our lands. We have to be really careful to make sure we F6 our opponent's turn every time so that we can go quickly. Our opponent shouldn't have brought in Artifact Destruction against us, but I have seen people do that sort of thing. So if we get hit right here, that's going to be a little annoying. If this just gets popped by an Ancient Grudge or something, but that's not really what you should do when you're in our opponent's situation. Alright, so I think I'm actually going to lead out with this island, because what I don't want to happen is for them to play a Molten Rain on us and not have Condescend up. That's okay. Flint Hawk. That's actually a nice little Condescend target too. It's their only pressure at this point, and it draws them a card, so I'll do that. We're not going to have Tron until next turn anyway, so it's okay. I don't really want this repeal, and I don't really want the Stonehorn Dignitary either, I don't think. Yeah, let's put that on the bottom too. Really, I just want a Rhystic Circle. Okay. So we've got Condescend and Impulse up this turn. Let's see what our opponent does here. Of course, Skyfisher we can't counter, so they're going to get to do that. And I'll just let the Wellspring resolve when they cast it again. This way I can finish off Tron. Alright. Let's go ahead and grab our mine. And play the mine. So it's possible I should be impulsing here to try to find a Prophetic Prism. That's what we really need right now. But as it stands, I'm going to stick with with the plan of impulsing. Alright, we're taking 2. Again, I really want to try to counter any Molten Rains they have. And as it sits, they only have 2 red sources, so they won't be able to Molten Rain plus hold up another red spell. I think I'll just Condescend this. My guess is they have a Pyroblast up, but it is what it is. We're going to run into that Pyroblast eventually. And Condescend's almost as good as Impulse here. Ooh, these are like the best possible cards. So we'll go top, draw the Prophetic Prism first, draw into that Mulldrifter. And what's great is now we'll be able to hold up Condescend or Impulse after the Mulldrifter, now that we drew some more blue mana. Let's go with this. If I tap like this, that means I can cast Pulse of Marasa. So if they want to use Molten Rain, I can do that. Alright, so now we are a white mana away from casting this Rhystic Circle. Let's see if our opponent wants to bolt this thing. Molten Rain, huh? So I can either Ghostly Flicker to save it, or I can Pulse it back. But I'm going to Ghostly Flicker, because our opponent is tapped out of red mana. So let's get some cards. Oh yeah. It's possible I should have just flickered the Prophetic Prism. But that's not really what I wanted to do. Because then I could have countered this Journey, so maybe that would have been a little better. I'm not too worried about it. At this point I can repeal it, draw some more cards. I don't know how much blue mana I really need to hold up. I guess I will hold up 3 blue mana, because I might want to cast Repeal, Condescend, and Impulse, or I might want to cast this Pulse of Marasa on something. Glinhawk's kind of annoying. I think I'll just counter it. So they've got 4 mana. Let's just Condescend for 5. I don't want them to just have creatures, and I don't know. We've got a lot of card draw and stuff in hand at this point. I do want this white source. I guess I'll keep both of these. I'm going to draw the Tranquil Cove first. That means I'm not impulsing at the end of turn because I don't want to put that stuff on the bottom. But I am probably going to repeal this Journey. Battle Screech, huh? That's a little annoying. I didn't put anything on top that's actually good against that, so unfortunately can't counter that. That's alright. Okay, let's draw some cards here. 2 Stonehorn Dignitaries. Alright, didn't really need that. I suppose I should have impulsed end of turn. I was just clicking a little too fast. Let's run out the Prism. Okay. Run out of Stonehorn Dignitary. Now that I have the second Prophetic Prism, I don't really need this other Tranquil Cove, but I think I'll play it anyways. Alright, I'll just leave all this stuff up at this point. They don't get an attack. I'll attack with my Mulldrifter. If they want a double block, that's fine with me. And then I can Pulse it back. It's also going to make it a lot harder for them to flash back their Battle Screech this way. Alright, Journey to Nowhere. That's fine. Definitely don't care about that. I have another Stonehorn Dignitary right here. Okay, let's impulse end of turn. See what we can find here. Another Rhystic Circle, don't need. I will just grab another Mulldrifter. So you can kind of see why this deck just kind of eats Kuldotha Boros alive. I've got too much value, their deck's too slow to put on enough pressure, and I go so far over the top of them. That's true of any Tron deck. That's not, you know, specific to this Tron deck. I love playing Kuldotha Boros, one of my favorite decks. And I always have to sleeve it up, or not sleeve it up, kind of the opposite of sleeve it up. I've got to ship it away every time I play against, every time Tron is really popular. Alright, they found one Pyroblast. That's fine. I didn't need all that value anyways. Hopefully they don't have two though. I'd be a little sad if this one got countered too. Oh no. Okay. Okay, not so sad anymore. Not quite as sad as I thought I was going to be. Alright, we'll pass the turn. So our opponent's under no cards. We've got 6. I got a zillion mana. Got this Rhystic Circle that'll pretty much lock up the game. I don't think our opponent could possibly come back from here. But no sense in them not trying, right? As a viewer of my show or of my YouTube videos, happy to see someone trying to battle it out. Always battle it out. Fortunately, we have no real way to get through this guy. So I think I'm just going to pass the turn here with Repeal and Negate up. I will double block here if our opponent attacks. It's kind of signaling that our opponent has a burn spell. But that's okay. Ghostly Flicker would be really nice here, but I don't have one, unfortunately. It's possible I should just Impulse to try to find one. And I think I will Impulse. And then if I don't find one, I think I'll just Negate. I'm actually going to take this tower. Okay, he's casting Galvanic Blast on that one. Let's just, yeah, let's just negate that. Alright. Negate you. I think I'll Moment's Peace if they have another one. Alright. So that's that. Let's attack. So now we're just doing kind of the regular Tron thing where we got rid of all their threats, countered everything they did. We're just ahead on cards and ahead on everything, on mana, on cards in hand, on creatures on the board. And we're just going to kill them with the Mulldrifter and the Seagate Oracles, probably. An Impulse, better than Tron land that I don't need. See what we can find with that. And you guys are probably coming up with lines in your head that are, you know, slightly better than the ones I'm taking. There's just a lot of options at this point. Like, I could be playing this Mnemonic Wall, I could make sure I get the Rhystic Circle out, I could be repealing my Mulldrifter. There's just so many options. At this point, I'm kind of just looking for that Crusher. Be kind of nice to have that right now. Alright. See if our opponent has an answer for this. I'm guessing at this point that they don't, so I'm going to grab the Ghostly Flicker. And then I'll pass the turn. Opponent's got a life gain land. Duking it out to the very end. Let's get another land out of here. Maybe I'll grab another tower. I've got enough colors at this point that I don't need any of that. I'm not gonna bother Ghostly Flickering right there. It's like a slight risk that it's just not worth doing. However, I'm gonna do it in their upkeep. I just don't want to flicker when they could have Galvanic Blast up and I don't have Repeal. Alright, so they don't have anything, so this game's super over. I'm going to draw like 10 cards here or something. And our opponent will be dead. It's possible I should be getting the Seagate instead of the Mulldrifter just because I might not want to run out of cards, but I've got plenty. Okay, I found the Crushers, so I'll just stop here. our opponent casts something I care about, I will maybe blink some more to try to find a prohibit or whatever thing I want, but I don't really need to. There's nothing really to play here, so let's just play this. It's possible I don't even want to play this Crusher because it's going to draw them a bunch of cards with the Wellsprings, but to be honest, it just doesn't matter. I'm going to play this Rhystic Circle just so I don't have to discard quite as many cards. But I am going to discard the other one. I just don't need them at all. Even if they kill this one, I'm not going to try to protect it or anything. Alright, that's a card for them. Forgot to tap it before, but I don't know. I start to play really sloppy when I'm really far behind like this too. It's nothing to be too ashamed of or anything. Let's play that land. Let's attack. Let him draw some cards. Let's draw 2 cards here. That's pretty nice, but starting next turn I won't be able to do that. I have to start hitting lands soon. Plus we're hitting them for 11 here. Might be a faster kill if I just go and look for my Rolling Thunder. Like I could have drawn enough cards there probably to go through my whole deck, but that's gonna take too much time. We'll just let our opponent take his turn and be done with the game. Good games, Top Deck Bolt. Alright, I'll restart my stuff, so hopefully I'm not quite so laggy, and we'll be back for round 2.